Second half.
Maybe the key is Eddie Betts, just 4 possessions, 1 behind. Can he play a part? As we start the second half, the opening bounce, Kennedy in full stride, kicks inside the forward 50. Yaron goes back. After it goes McGuinness. That's a big assignment for McGuinness against Goods. Goods tackles him and tackles him down. They'll have a ball up in the pocket.
Swans by 9 points at quarter time, 21 at half time. We get rolling along in the third, and Cruiser and Mumford continue to battle against each other. Goods just over the top, called to play on. Pike, little one back to Goods, paddles it up to Hanbury, missed by Hanbury, taken on quickly by Jack. He fires, bounces once and skips over.
John Longmire talked about no tackles inside their attacking 50 in that first half. Already they've had one in the early stages of this third quarter. This is where Jack's dangerous.
Knocked down by Cruiser into the belly of Jack. He's taken to ground, and well, Bell's got a big assignment this afternoon. Free kick the Swans.
He's set for the fend off. So McLean had the ball, and McLean, he's pretty tiny, McLean, he can just about walk under a coffee table. So it wouldn't be hard to fend him off. Perhaps a little bit over the shoulder.
Stands at just 174, trying to add to the 21-point lead, and does with a major. Swans get the first of the second half.
So that's a good start for them. Tough hombre. Not the biggest, but certainly doesn't concede anything in those packs.
Here's the fend off from Tui, sorry. Yeah. So you'd like to see somebody in that instance given the benefit of the doubt, though, wouldn't you? I called it on McLean. It was actually Tui there, and I'm not sure that that's what a free kick should be paid for.
Eyes up, guys, straight up.
Not your teeth.
Well, not when you got control of the ball like he had, though.
No. Interesting to that tackle. There was a strong tackle in that exchange, and the umpires with the slow whistle really do mitigate for that tackle, that sling tackle, because players get a little frustrated. They're holding on, and sometimes feel compelled to toss the player down. Need to be a bit careful with that as this ball comes out of bounds on the full, I reckon. No, he's paying the mark, the umpire, who was only 10 metres away. He's virtually, you can see him there in the pocket of the man with the football who was paid the mark, Mumford. He goes down the line and finds Goods. So Sydney doing what they did in the first term and the second, getting the early goal. Here's O'Keefe.
This is so reminiscent of the first quarter, isn't it? The way they played and controlled the footy.
Mattias debut against the Western Bulldogs of the SCG a long time ago, back in 2000. He sends it down towards full forward. Off hands and across the line. Let's go down to Kirky.
Yeah, that's what Ryan O'Keefe brings to the team. If he's not only in the midfield, he can push forward, and he's a very good half-forward player, as he has been over his whole career.
Play on.
Short ball to Scotland. They're perennially undersold, aren't they, the Swans, Tim?
Yep. Yep, they are. And they should be right up there as premiership favourite alongside Hawthorn and Collingwood at the moment.
Well, they've beaten the Hawks. Yet to play the Pies. That happens next weekend. Bird sees a free man. Well, beautifully weighted kick to Hanbury.
Well, the first mistake there from Carlton in a defensive sense was not to have anybody playing on Bird. I mean, that was the first free player at half forward. Now, it's just remarkable that somebody could find that space, and then he had the space to kick the ball to Hanbury, who was so good in the first quarter and a half.
There seems to be so many of these types, the Hanburys and Birds and Jacks. They keep running through. O'Keefe, McVeigh, they have been sensational so far this year. They need to be good in September. Hanbury is good right now. So the margin now 34 points, and after the Blues were good late in the second term, the Swans start the third in fine style. So 10 goals have been scored so far by this Swans outfit that score readily nowadays.
Yep, and look, sometimes you can lose your game in the long break at half-time. I mean, they were so good. They were so honest. They were so aggressive. And they were working so hard before half-time. But they just haven't come out in the same state of mind.
And this equals the biggest lead in the game now. So for all that fight back in the second term, on the scoreboard it stands for naught. Sydney getting the opening 2 goals of the third term. Back in the middle. Cruiser up early. Mumford did brilliantly. Got it down to Kennedy again. Likes that side to receive the ball on Kennedy, but the kick is marked by White. Chips it back towards centre half back. Gibbs across the ground, broadening things. Taken by Curnow. Looking down towards half forward. The lead comes from Murphy. Go to the quality players. Murphy's got it at the interchange gates. White offers a lead. The kick goes in that direction, but sensing the danger and getting across. Johnson did the hard work, got to the right spot, spilt the mark.
And read it so well too, didn't he? He knew the ball was going down the line. It was Garlett or Betts was trying to drag him away, but he wasn't having a bar of that.
No, the ruckman touched the footy, took an awkward bounce. Curnow crashes the pack in the opposite direction. O'Keefe did well, taken by Bolton. I think he kicked a leg there. He managed to move the ball about 5 metres. Over the football is Cruiser. Taking a tumble was Jetta. Try to work it forward is White. Johnson stood his ground, gets it across towards Hanbury, back to Cruiser. Charged down there by Mumford. In the opposite direction is White. McVeigh goes after it. The umpire lets them play. Bell emerges with the football, got it from Scotland, misses everything.
Jude Bolton comes to the bench. I actually heard the whack from here. It was a big smack of his ankle.
So they can be nasty ones too, Kirky.
Lewis, Roberts, Thompson, Hanbury now. Little give. Johnson, what a find he's been for the Swans. Quickly on they go to McGlynn. Cruising through Jack. He's got Murphy to beat. Just gets around onto the left. We've got a problem at half forward. Pikes just clutching at something. We'll go back to him in a moment. Meanwhile, Scotland sweeps the handball to Armfield. Man on over the top. McGuinness will take, receive and send it inside to Collins. Got a bit of space. Got Gibbs as an option. Shorter still to Betts. Wasn't perfect, but he got it back again. Collins steps inside Smith. Runs to about 60. Long ball. Simpson, tough ass. Bouncing ball. Just the one minor score.
And Collins is one of those players we talked about as we see Jude Bolton just trying. This is the incident. Just kicks his foot straight into the foot there of Cruiser. And that just bends back your toes. I mean, they can be nasty ones sometimes. It looks like he's going to be okay. But Collins is one of those players at half-time talked about that hadn't had enough of the ball in the first half. He needs to get busy because he has got the capacity to run through the lines.
Grundy's got the football then. He's at left half back. It's an interesting question you raised about Mike Pike. No idea what happened to him, but he didn't take part in the action. Garlett gets the crumb on the wing, floats it back towards half forward. Last man standing is Shaw, did nicely. He was fourth in the queue. He found the footy. O'Keefe's over it now. Head down, spills out wide. Matner, well played. Carrazzo got lower.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, well, he's got to try. Oh, he's very lucky because putting the hands up, players are not going as quickly with this as you would like. Not understanding. They've got to make an attempt. The ball's even in their vicinity.
And to paraphrase, a genuine attempt.
A genuine attempt.
On 297 games too, Jude Bolton. So you're hoping that he gets back out there in the action quickly.
Maybe described that way, but it's not too genuine. There's a chance for Parker as he goes down towards half forward. Wonderful courage there, going back with the flight of it. McGuinness, we like him. He's an up-and-comer. Made his debut on Friday Night Football a few weeks back.
What's Jude on Tim at the moment?
297.
No, it's interesting. He's got Collingwood 298, Western Bulldogs 299, and then if he remains fit, Hawthorn at the SCG.
Well, that's the one you wanted to play your 300th game out.
Let's assume he doesn't miss with the ankles. He sort of does a little bit of stretching work. It looks okay.
Yeah, no, it looks like he's going to come back on. I reckon they may have taped it. You just see him there on the sidelines now, just limbering up again. That's a good sign.
It'll take a fair bit to keep him out.
So Swans by 33. Pike, who looked injured moments ago, just sees the ball knocked forward. In the end, McGuinness over the top. Curnow bounces back inside. McVeigh, the quick look away. Good. Simpson just corrals. McGuinness goes and wins the ball. Tui slides over, slips over, ball goes over. What do we got? Free kick. Is it out on the full, off the leg?
Come right level with the line, mate.
So.
Yeah.
Right level with the line, yeah.
Looks like it may have come
Thanks,
off
Ben.
Zach to his foot here. Yep.
I'll call you. You level with me, I'll call you.
Get a stat for that, but you get a free kick against you.
So McGlynn shorts it.
Not even close.
Oh, it was a bit skinny, wasn't it?
Yeah, plus these days are getting very adept at doing that, aren't they? That kick, but not Benny McGlynn there. Tui, he's feeling the torque. Not quite with that one, though, but the mark was taken by Betts last time. It was marked by Melcheski. Betts got on the end of a much shorter torp as he sends it out towards the wing. Collins has got the run of it. Coming across on the angle is Bolton. And Bolton did well. He seems to be okay. He was moving nicely there. Boundary throw in. 68 plays 34. Bobby Skilton talking about those Swans that got to 250. He was 237 from memory. But what a player. 3 Brownlows. A legend of the game. Gibbs to Murphy. Murphy kicks inside the forward 50. And the mark is taken by White.
That's a good pair of hands, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was great movement then too from that stoppage. Good to see Murphy getting involved again.
So White has kicked a couple. This will take his best. He'll kick from right on the 50. Kick is on the way. That's close to his best. Not quite. Just tapering away to the right. And misses by less than a metre.
A couple of things too. Gibbs has been pushed up onto the ball now, and Aaron Joseph looks to be running with Hanbury. So we know that he has the concentration, Joseph, to be able to perform those roles.
Shaw, almost his signature dish, a little one to himself, and then quickly to the boundary line. Goods, Joseph, O'Keefe, boundary line wins. The Beards are back, aren't they? I mean, we saw Adam Goods there, and I think Shaw's got some sort of an operation going on. A few around the place. Melcheski sports one. Pike knocks it down. Carazzo cruises through. Armfield just hacks it inside 50. Bouncing ball now. Cruiser couldn't. Teddy Richards just quickly kicked it away. Comes to a pack. They've got to be good here, the Swans. They normally are. They put it into the hands of a man with speed and confidence. Little one to himself. He just continues to cruise on. Here's some X factor now. Go and kick a goal. Jetta continues over the top. He goes. Can he get it back? No. He's put the cue in the rack, and Hanbury lets everyone down. Well, not quite.
In.
Little party trick to McGlynn over the top. Mumford, Simpson should have the pace. Now the Blues will rebound. Not sure whether it was a set play, the bouncing back ball, but worked out okay momentarily. Garlett ends up with it on the outer side.
That was a terrific run. Give White his due. He stuck, didn't he? He didn't lose any ground, I don't think.
It's Carlton's free kick. It's further than 50 away. Right.
Heard the explanation.
Walk like that.
Further than 50 away, so
It's got him in the head, so it has to be a free.
umpire Stevic making the point. This is Carazzo. Haven't called his name too often this afternoon. Came back with a flurry late in the second quarter, but hasn't seen much of it in this term. Here's Scotland indicating he wants to go long, just setting it up. It's a deep ball. Casbolt can't get to it over the top. Big fist away by Pike, taken by McLean deep in the pocket. Well, he hit the post. Rock McLean. Had a tricky week.
Just going back on that halftime news, Tim, we believe Matty Primus has been told he's not required at Port next year. They'd like him to continue to coach, and if he doesn't, the former Crows Sean Wren steps in for the rest of the year.
Adam Goods has got the footy. Well,
the talk yesterday was that he may have got a contract extension, but that was before the loss to GWS. So I don't think it's going to really surprise anyone in the footy world that his contract's not going to be renewed.
here's Jetta. That was a killer yesterday, wasn't it? As the kick goes down towards the attacking 50, and the mark is taken by McGuinness.
He'll feel better when it's all over that then.
Yeah, nice man. Footy's a cruel game.
You should carry a health warning, coach. Like a pack of cigarettes.
Goes out to McLean.
How many fewer years do you reckon you've got in you as a result?
How many puffs did you take? Or did you inhale?
Too many.
That'll get you.
Every time.
Jamison is back. To this day, I'm not sure if I was sacked or it was just one of those things I made my own decision. That was the perfect sacking, I think, at West Perth. Well, if it was a sacking, as the ball comes out wide to Betts. When you don't know.
Did they have a farewell party for you?
Well, no. They were all mates, though, and as a result, it was done nicely. Short one, if in fact it was done. And the mark is taken by Garlett. Garlett about 45 metres out.
That's the kick, isn't it? I mean, he loves to run, Yaron, and he got it right at the end of this play. That's the one. He just dropped it in low there for Garlett, and they really need to kick this because they've actually, in general play, they've worked their way back in after that first couple of minutes where they just looked a little bit out of sorts.
That's terrible. Richards takes the mark. So often they go to that pocket simply because they don't want to put the hands on the football of the opposition if they kick it behind off hands or kick it through from that sort of range. Yaron does nicely, goes to Bell. Bell goes back towards Garlett. Garlett in full stride, connects on his shin and bounces it out of bounds in the pocket. So again, we're seeing this revival of sorts. We saw it late in the second term where Carlton realize the gravity of the situation and have to dig deep.
So Casbolt, sort of a part of that big win last week without really meaning to be. Gets wrapped up by a man playing 250. Malcheski watches on. And we saw it earlier, Tim. The Blues get their way back into it, and then the Swans just hammer away.
Yep. They've scored a lot easier, Sydney, than Carlton has managed to. That's a great tap. To McLean, smothered kick. Now what can the Swans do here? Johnson chases, ball sits up. Hanbury's an option, draws the player, quick kick, no one there. They'll be out of bounds on the full, which probably suits the Swans on the basis that Joseph was going to get there and set up pretty quickly. The Swans drop back. The numbers are already there, so they've already set themselves up in good defensive positions here, Sydney. McLean, Carazzo, back to McLean. Heap of Swans, hands on again. Well done, Smith to Shaw. Back to Smith again, and then to where it just came from. Bouncing ball, Joseph, where he got cleaned up by Zeeble not so long ago. Bird, well done. Stops, goes backwards to Bolton, and now to Goods. Why wouldn't you? He's got a couple of Blues to beat McGuinness. He does well. Gee, they were out then to O'Keefe had actually run into space in the forward line. There was no one within 30 metres of him had they been able to maintain possession there, Sydney.
Margin 32 points, knocked down by Mumford, taken by Hanbury, goes to Malcheski. Malcheski fires one inside the forward 50. Goods and Jamison. Jamison with the pace comes away. Not his best kick. It wanders down towards right half forward. Grundy. Ample time to come across, cut it off, settle, and look for a target. Well, the last part of the equation wasn't too flash. You may have seen him, but he didn't find him, and now the ball goes out of bounds. Jamison kept coming. Well done.
That's a great follow-up, Dennis. The first part was terrible. To kick the ball away like he did, no composure or poise whatsoever. He's actually sucking in some deep breaths after that big run and that second effort.
He's off the ground momentarily. Carazzo. Murphy, the look-away hand pass, needed more attention. O'Keefe at close quarters gave it to McVeigh. McVeigh's hand pass, charged down. Opportunity close to the boundary for Matner. And Matner has put it across the line on the full.
The pressure has been really good from Carlton, but what they need to do, they've got to actually put something on the scoreboard for that. In general play, they're on top again now, but they just haven't been able to score, create any scoring opportunities. 18 minutes into the third term, haven't been able to press. What happened there?
Well, the boundary umpire was just, I don't know, it was muscle memory. I think he played footy as a kid and he wanted to fly for it. I'm not sure.
We found Mollison yet?
No, gone.
What happened?
No news.
Back in it comes. Cruiser to Curnow. Here's a chance for Murphy. Back to Armfield. Now high up and under. McLean sees it go over his head and all too easy for Grundy.
Let's just give him a free crack at it, though, isn't it?
Yep.
To the outer side, Bolton, one of the two, Bird the other. Hanbury, a big tackle on Joseph. It spills. O'Keefe tackled. Hanbury ends up with it. Little under Malcheski works it through. Well done to Bolton. Wider now. Jack, little under Bird. He can go. He's got Lewis, Roberts, Thompson, and Mumford further afield. Simpson won't allow him to go there quite yet. Malcheski, he thought McGlynn was going at it. Yaron, bit of support for Gibbs. Gibbs off. Now to Scotland. Scotland on the left. To half forward, Collins, Johnson. Well done, Johnson.
The intensity's gone up in this game. The Blues are getting their hands in the footy, but they just can't penetrate that Swans defence at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good call, Kirky. In general play, they're going really well. They're making it hard for Sydney to escape from these stoppages, but they're just not being able to handle the ball cleanly and clearly enough themselves to create anything.
McLean out of the congestion, bounces down toward Betts. Betts rarely sighted, gives a hand pass back to McLean. In trouble, McLean tries to go again to Betts. Nothing doing this time. Betts after the football, though, it almost came his way. Head down, ball behind him now. McVeigh was tackled, knocked out of there by Hanbury. Little 1-2 with Melcheski. Kept coming, did Murphy, applied a tackle. Hanbury got it back, though, and the ball goes towards the outer side. They relieve the pressure momentarily, Sydney, but it's coming back through White. White looks down towards the 50. High ball in front. Pike off his hands. Hanbury got the crumb. Richards in trouble. Well done, Betts. Collins a half chance. Gets a hand pass along the line. Taken by Waite. Clever kick by Waite. McLean was the target. Couldn't reel it in. Gathered by Bolton. Bolton hurt himself again as the kick comes up towards the wing. Leading back is Curnow. Dragged down. Perhaps he didn't have the football. As Yaron got it now? Not sure. Gets away from Bird. Steps a would-be tackler. Oh, brilliant stuff. Centres it to Gibbs. Gibbs goes inside the forward 50. The limping Bolton can do nothing. It runs away and goes out of bounds.
This is real trouble here, Drew Bolton. Just actually, ooh.
That's the other foot.
Yeah. Just, that looks like a break.
Oh, dear.
Most blokes would probably come off on a stretcher, but Jude Bolton's going to run off with a broken leg.
Well, on an otherwise bright afternoon for the Swans, bleak news as Jude Bolton heads towards Kirky, and this is real disappointment. It's on the drop here.
That's
is it
a knee.
hyperextension of the knee? Goes back. I know nothing really about knees, but it doesn't look good. Really disappointing news for Jude Bolton as he approaches 300 and the Swans having some sort of a season. Let's hope it's only minor as Kennedy gets taken over. I mean, that's in a career that has been magnificent. It's a very ordinary time to have that happen.
Fingers crossed.
Jamison looks like he might have done his hamstring just then.
Wow. Going down. Simpson from half forward sends it inside the forward 50 off hands. Garland a chance at the crumb. Ricochets off his body and goes out. So Jamison now to the interchange gates. No doubting that was a free. So boundary throw in. Dangerous spot.
He's in trouble. Done his right hamstring.
Pike knocked it down. O'Keefe couldn't find a way through. Goes to Jack. Jack out of defence then. Tailor-made for Curnow. He'll send it back inside. Didn't really look, just sets it up. McLean was there, fingertips to it. Waite had it bounce past him. Richards did well. Murphy in the opposite direction. He did better. Comes to Carazzo. Armfield going back. Oh, courage from two players. Wonderful courage. I'm not sure Hanbury did much wrong, but it's going against him, and now players remonstrating with Hanbury.
Let it go. Let it go. Dennis, you're right. Take your kick. Yeah, free kicks, putt. High contact for the free kick. Yeah, where you are.
Well, it was wonderful from both players. There's a free kick there, but it certainly wasn't intentional. Hanbury was trying to take a chest mark.
Yep. He's entitled to go for the ball. I mean, that's incidental contact in the marking duel, and that's a free kick as well.
Just such commendable courage from two players. One from either side. And the winner in that exchange is Armfield and Carlton. He puts it through for a goal. Margin back to 26.
Well, they deserved that hammer. This quarter, 65% ball in their half, Carlton. So they've had it down there. They just haven't been able to create those opportunities. And I mean, they've got to set it up like Garland and Betts at ground level with those high balls going into their forward line with such regularity. They've just got to be able to get their hands on one or two of those and turn them into goals.
To your point, up until that goal, it was 2 goals, 2 for the term to just 3 behinds. The Blues deserved something.
When Dennis talked about the commendable courage, and he had his eyes on the ball there, no question about that. Hanbury coming in from the opposite direction. I don't think he's going to be worried about any match review panel situation there.
Did you think Zeeble would be?
Yeah, it looks like they might activate the sub. Jude was just walking along the boundary, looked okay, and then just as he went to turn, looked like something might have given way on his knee.
Zeeble-esque, wasn't it? Zeeble, courageous, spends a month on the sidelines. We wait with interest. Murphy set upon by Swans. Somehow it's pushed out by Garlett. Here's a chance for Collins. Fends off, gets it inside. Bell, can he kick a goal for the Blues? Smith, the tackle was fabulous.
Wonderful.
Look, he's a young player, Bell, but I mean the error then is actually bouncing the ball in the first couple of steps. You just see the ice being applied now to that knee. He's not going to take any further part in this game, Jude Bolton. And you see Dennis Lane there in the foreground, number 8, just warming up, getting ready to come on.
Jude has been so durable. He's only missed 4 games since the start of 2003. So there he is.
Ridiculous, that stat, considering how he plays, then.
Yeah, on the eve of the finals too. It's bad news. As I said, fingers crossed as the ball goes around that outer side. Almost a clever mark at the back by White. Immediately went on and applied a tackle. Spills wide, taken by Hanbury. Hanbury fires it down towards half forward, and going back with the flight of it is Murphy.
There's an arm wrestle going on at the moment, and Carlton's really holding their own here.
Gibbs, awkward kick. Armfield has to work now. Tackled from behind by O'Keefe, or is it Jack? Jack's got him. And the umpire, taking an eternity, decides he couldn't get it out.
Tim, that tackle from Nick Smith on Bell sort of typifies the Swans, doesn't it? You think you've got time, you think you're away, and someone just mauls you.
Yeah, no, it was a great lunging tackle.
We see Armfield there. Kicked a goal earlier. Continues to sport that moustache, which...
There's Bell again. I mean, he hasn't had a lot of touches, but he's had some important fingernails on the ball at different stages. He's going to be a player.
McGlynn around the corner. McVeigh, Goods off Goods' knees. Ricochets back. Lewis Roberts-Thompson hits his man. Now a chance. Long ball. How is the carries? It's shepherded through. The Swans are kicking him from everywhere. This time it's Jack. To Kirky's point, for all the effort and all the momentum, it amounts to 1-3. The Swans have got 3 goals too, and that against the flow, and suddenly we're back out to 32 points. The Smith tackle stops the Bell goal, would have brought it back to 20 points. 2-goal turnaround, 32 points the margin.
He's had a busy afternoon too, Kieran Jack. He's up to 21 disposals. 13 of those have been contested, and he's had 6 clearances too, so he's had an afternoon. Just watching Kieran Jack just positioning himself beautifully just outside 50, so he's got a big leg on him, Kieran Jack, and we've already mentioned earlier in the afternoon about what a damaging player he's been this season forward of the centre.
Sydney's first goal in 22 minutes. It's a real battle of attrition in this term. Bell's over the football. Tim likes him. He's taken down. After it goes, Smith took a while. Betts was right there in the opposite direction. Grundy going to the ground. Betts comes again. He's going to get a free kick. Betts. Advantage is paid. Carrazza now. They'll stop it. Umpire Leopard, dare we say it, doesn't change his decisions. That was a situation there where he called play on initially. Well, didn't call anything and then decided to whistle it up. That's just giving it away, though. The mark is taken by Johnson down in the back pocket. So maybe they would have been better. They were 2-on-1. But that's not the umpire's problem. Johnson out of defence sends it up towards the wing. Goods was up. Roberts-Thompson looking for the crumb at the back, and it goes out of bounds.
A bit of play there by Johnson was almost identical to the other side of the ground when Garlett kicked the ball to Waite in the pocket as well. See Collins.
Carlton with a lot of injuries. They've been so gallant in recent weeks. And now Mumford's getting a free kick.
The sub's been activated. Davies coming on for Jamison.
Davies, generally a defender. Not a lot of flamboyance about his game. Ball goes out of bounds. They need some flamboyance about now. Clock stops at 1:29. They need a runner. They need something to happen in the midfield, perhaps.
Had a history too, Jamison, of soft tissue injuries over the years. That's a real blow for Carlton. Already they've got an extended injury list.
Kennedy's kick right to the 50. Scotland stood up in a tackle, gave it to Gibbs under pressure. Gibbs kicks it back towards the wing, simply too tall. Smith marks over Betts. So Betts really hasn't had an impact on this afternoon's game. Just the 9 possessions now. This is Smith.
A long ball inside 50. LRT just misread it. Gibbs did well. Quickly they moved the ball to Scotland, back to Gibbs. Hard up against the boundary line. Bell, it settles for him. Now to McGuinness. Over the top they go to Simpson. Unmistakable in that helmet. 3 weeks on the sideline. Little one to wait. Game 150. Debuted against the Swans. Lost. Played 100 against the Swans. Lost. Needs to change something quickly. If that is going to change this afternoon. Casbolt out of sight. Quickly. High up and under. Yours. Catch that. Betts over the top. Cruiser 2. Out the back. Garlett with pace. Can he take it cleanly? Well, not in the end. And, well, it's mopped up.
Don't
look like a certainty.
No. That's where I hate that rule. I mean, the blokes, look, this is it. Like, okay, he's trying to win the ball there on the ground. I mean, you're entitled to do that. That's what our game's all about. You've got 3 blokes to jump on top of you. 2 of those are Sydney Swans. Their only thought is to lock the ball in.
With 4 players on top of you, at what time did you have prior? Is it the millisecond before they jump on top of you, or the umpire see underneath what's going on?
Well, it's 3/4 time. And the Sydney Swans have got out to 32 points now. The margin was 21 at half-time. So for all the hard work of Carlton, again in that term, not a lot to show for it. 74 plays 42 on Sunday Football.